A super long day today at work, and super long day tomorrow. All my days have been long here recently, and I've gotten off track with my applications. Really late on my round 2. I meant to have it done 2 to 3 weeks ago. Is that going to affect my yard? Probably not. It's just my yard's plenty healthy. I just use my applications to build on the build off of the previous one. If I'm a little bit late, it ain't gonna hurt my yard. But I'm gonna get it done today. For those of you that are new, this is my cart buddy. This is a 50-gallon. Let me cut this off right quick. This is a 50-gallon update on this. Is this 100% ready to go, except the shipping box. We're waiting on the shipping box itself to be made and sent to us, and when that happens, that'll be ready to ship, and I'll have all the pricing done and all that kind of stuff done by then. You will notice on the Academy website, we got updated shipping rates from UPS, and they are fantastic. Posted a little thing in my group, my private Facebook group, and people told me what their shipping was before, and then now what it is now, and it's a difference. They're saving money, so fantastic. That was the whole name of the game. And we approached UPS because of the shipping on this particular sprayer was going to be so high. So they went back to the drawing board, took it way down, which is great. And then as a positive, it affected everything on the website. So now all the shipping rates are lower, which is a great thing for you. By far, so far, the 20-gallon cart buddy has been the hottest item. And then, of course, the spray buddy is a very popular one, too. That's the unit that hangs on the wall. But by far, the cart buddy is the most popular. I'm sure this one is going to be a very popular one as well. And I'm going to give you a heads up. I'm going to link a product page. Matter of fact, all the things I show you in this video will be in a link in the description below. You can check them out if you want to. But there's also going to be a link down there for the GCI Turf Spot Buddy. I actually have everything in hand for those. That's a spot sprayer that's going to come assembled, ready to take out of the box and use. It's going to be a 3-gallon option, a 5-gallon option, and possibly a 10-gallon option. And they're going to be able to be mounted to pretty much anything. Pretty much anything. Lawnmower, Ventrac, tractor, your golf cart, UTV, ATV, pretty much anything. You'll be able to mount to that, mount the Spot Buddy to any of those. It's basically for spot spraying. So if you want to be notified via email when they're for sale and when they're ready, you can go to that product page, use the link below, and put your email in the notify me box and hit enter or save or whatever it says on there. And then that way, when I physically enter stock onto the website, it automatically sends you an email saying, hey, we got the Spot Buddy in stock. Here it is if you want one. So if you want to be the first person to know, that's literally the first person to know, because when I enter the stock on the website, it automatically sends you an email. So this is kind of my test run with the battery. You can see I've got a fully charged battery here, got a second fully charged battery there, and got a third fully charged battery on the pump. This is a 7-gallon a minute pump, so it's quite a bit bigger than the one that comes on the 20-gallon cart buddy and all the spray buddy options. I don't think the battery is going to be the way to go. I think this is going to end up being a 110 volt plug into the wall only. But I got to be diligent and test out this battery, just see how long it'll last before it gives out. I might offer it, might not. I just don't want to offer you a sprayer that you got to buy 10 batteries for. You're defeating the purpose then, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna test this out today, spraying, see how long this thing will spray using a fully charged. And of course I got extra ones in case it goes dead. because I got 15,000 square foot here, and I'm pretty sure it's probably going to go dead by the time I get to using this thing. So test the agitation out, because yes, it's got built-in agitation down in there. Prodiamine, the jug's in there, 5-pound jug, covers a lot of ground. You can see right here, it comes in like a little granular. That's what that is, and you add it to water, and then you spray it. I actually had a guy try to spread that in a spreader one time, and it didn't work out good for him. So I want to make that clear that you add water to this, and then you apply it to the yard. Once you add water to it, then you apply it to the yard and spray it. So kind of testing out the agitation here, which I can already look at this and tell you it's not as strong with the battery as it is with the 110 volt option. So I'm just going to pour this straight into the tank and just kind of gently go in with it, give it a little time to mix up in there. By the way, I have 15,000 square feet, and I've got right about 40 gallons of material, so a little over 2 gallons per 1,000 on this application. You know, I could just put 30 gallons in it, call it 2 gallons per 1,000, but I need to test out this pump, the longevity. So I may even end up putting 50 gallons in it and spraying 15,000 square feet with 50 gallons. And right off the bat, I'm not really liking that, because this agitation is very slow with the battery. It's actually a little bit better agitation with the 110 volt, and actually it's enough agitation for me. So I would imagine if it's enough agitation for me, it should be enough for you as well. All right, so that's that. Let's give that a second and let that mix. All right, so that's mixed up real good. I'm going to cut this off just to conserve my battery. Now, here's the deal. I missed my application, okay? And I'm also kind of close to my next application, which is my, about mid-May-ish, going into the summer. So my round 2, I typically do a full rate of the GCI 2000, because I'm doing the GCI liquid program on my yard the entire year. So that's 20 ounces per 1,000. Right now I'm only 2 or 3 weeks away from my summer application, so I don't want to go down with that much nitrogen that close together. I just don't. So what I'm going to do, the way I adjust on the fly, is I will back off on the nitrogen, and then when I get to my round 3, I'll kind of get back on track with my typical nitrogen rate. So instead of running 20 ounces per 1,000 on my round 2, I'm going to kick it back to 5 ounces per 1,000. Like I said, I've got my round 3 coming up soon, so I don't want to overdo it. I'm going to drop back on the potassium as well, kick that back to like 5 or 6 ounces per 1,000. Because I'm cutting back on my nitrogen, that's typically where I get my color from, I'm going to put my iron in here. So a foliar application of iron, and that's going to kind of compensate for me not applying quite as much nitrogen, if that makes sense. Turn my pump on. Now, one advantage of having the 110 volt is it's just plugged in and it's continuously agitating the whole time. I'm actually trying to conserve this battery to see how far I can make it go. All right, so if we do the same thing with the potassium, and yes, I still owe you a full-scale video on explaining all of the GCI liquid line, and I will do that, I promise you, as soon as I get a minute. Got a lot of ball field work going on right now, a lot. I'm just trying to keep my head above water, to be honest with you. I tell you what, for easy math, I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna run that same 5 to 6 ounce rate on the calcium. One cool thing about the GCI line of liquids is they are all 100% compatible with each other. That was one of the main priorities of mine when I created this line of liquids, was that they be 100% compatible, and they most certainly are. You won't get any gelling or any clumping or any of that kind of stuff. I mean, unless your water's jacked up, it's kind of weird like that, but in 99% of the cases, it would be just fine to mix them all together. And no, I haven't done any testing with any of them on with other products or nothing like that. I just ain't had time. Of course, I'm going down with my adjuvant. So let's go ahead and let's go and do 50 in here. The 50 gallon will come with a slightly different style regulator, and I think we've only got maybe 6 or 8 of the old school regulators in, or the OG, the original regulator. This comes on the Spray Buddy and comes on the Cart Buddy now. When we sell those, when they go out with sprayers, we're going to convert all of them over to this new style regulator. For those of you that already have a Spray Buddy or Cart Buddy, don't sweat it. This is a lateral move. It's not because the regulator's better or nicer or higher quality. It's the same quality. It's a lateral move. The reason I'm making the change is because it's more of a dial style with number indicators on it instead of a pressure gauge itself. So it's a little bit more user friendly. So if you've got Spray Buddy or Cart Buddy, don't think you have to have this one, because you don't have to have it. The one you have now works like a champion. All right, so that's mixed up good right there. I'm gonna take my gun off right now, and this is why we put a valve on the end of the hose, so you can bleed the line. Because last time I used this, I put 6-7 gallons of water in it and flushed the system out, so that now the hose has water in it. So I need to get the material that's inside the tank to the end of the spray hose, so when I get out in the yard and start spraying, I'm spraying the actual material and not water. So we refer to this as bleeding the hose. So I'm just pushing that water out of the hose, pushing it right back into the tank. When I see it change colors, I know I'm ready to spray. And you can crank the pressure up a little bit to speed this process up. Oh yeah, that higher pressure, that's really gonna start pulling that battery down. I'm glad I've got 3. You'll see it starts spitting a little bit. That's just a little bit of air in the line, no big deal, that's normal. Hope the light doesn't mess me up. It's real cloudy today, so I don't have the sun helping me. It's just probably gonna get a little bit dark on me. And I apologize for these kind of videos, but it's the best I can do. I still work a full-time job during the day. I ain't quite there yet to where I can do YouTube full-time and I can have prime, optimum times during the day to make videos, and where the lighting's perfect and everything's perfect. It's just, that ain't my life. And I read a comment not too long ago when I showed the 50 gallon, and somebody said, "Pete, like you're struggling to push that." Well, I'm glad you noticed that. That's 50 gallons of liquid. It's not light. So let's lock the casters down right there. I'm gonna go over here and grab my spare batteries, so I'll have them on hand. The yard's looking really good right now. It's a touch off color for this time of the year. It's just not quite as dark green as it normally is. And I just think that's because I'm late on my fertilizer is the only reason. So let's fire this thing up. Let's get some color back in this bad boy. Oh yeah, oh yeah. She's pumping. All right, so I'm gonna go around the corner right here. You're not gonna be able to see this part. And I still owe you a hose management video. I don't forget these things, I'm just busy. It's hard for me to get all that done in a timely fashion, but I'll get it done. Give you my word. You can see I've got my trailer loaded up, ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow's a huge day. And my wife's gonna take my son to school, so I can leave straight from here and go to the ball field and get with it. I typically take my son to school in the morning and then if I got work to do, I load up and go from the office. But tomorrow I just got a lot to do. So I'll typically pull down my edge right there, put me a half spray width wide on my edges. Then I turn around and I spray just like I'm mowing, straight lines. And my left side of my spray pattern is just barely overlapping the previous spray pattern. I don't spray back to my foot tracks or anything like that. You do that with a spreader. You don't do it with this type of spray application. Slide over about 8 foot. That's about the width I'm spraying each time. And now my right side of my pattern is just barely overlapping my previous pattern there. Same thing, slide over about 8 feet. I think I'm gonna do another video here pretty soon, like on spray tips and tricks using a Kimlon spray gun or something to that effect. I don't know what I'll title it yet, but I'll probably do something like that, because I've got a few little tricks I like to use with this gun that will make your application a little bit better if you're already not killing it with one of these things. Pro guys, if you use a Kimlon, I've got them on the website and I've got a killer deal on them. One of my financial mistakes with some things I've tried to come out with and create and all that kind of thing, well, I ordered way too much inventory of several things, and the Kimlon gun was one of those. So I have a buttload of them, so I've got them priced super cheap to try to get rid of some of my inventory. All right, so that quick, we're done with the front. So hopefully this has helped you a little bit, because I'm sure some of you are super busy like I am, and you get a little bit behind, and that's kind of how I get myself back on track when I'm off on my applications. I still want to follow my program, but I don't want to over apply nitrogen, apply it too soon together, or any of that kind of thing. So the easiest way for me to get back on track is to dial back a little bit and then pick right back up when I get to my next application. And of course, the pre-emergent is the star of the show on this one, so that's the main thing I'm wanting to go down. So, reminder on the Spot Buddy, sign up for the email confirmation in the description below. Pro guys, this thing is going to save you a boatload of money in the long run. I mean, big time. I can't hardly stand it, so I'm going to tell you. I typically don't like to let the cat out of the bag until the cat's out of the bag, but imagine this scenario. So you own a lawn care company and you spray the turf, and then you also mow as well, and you mow those same yards. What about in between your scheduled applications, and you get a little clover pop up, or nutsedge, or a little crabgrass along the edges, or whatever the weed might be, and you would normally have to backpack spray all that. Well, what if you could spray it right from your mower? As soon as you get done mowing, do your spot spraying, be done. You don't have to tote a backpack. You don't have to go back to the shop and get your skid sprayer. You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to unload your ride-on spreader sprayer. You don't have to do any of that. You just turn the power on and start spraying. For those of you that are homeowners and have like a really big yard, and you use a zero-turn mower to mow, and you get done mowing the grass, and doggone it, you got a little bit of clover over in the corner, or some dandelion, or chickweed, or henbit, or plantain, or oxalis, or whatever it might be. And typically you would get your backpack sprayer out and walk around that entire yard and spot spray. Well, you'll be able to ride around on your mower with the spot buddy, and you'll be able to spray it that way. So this is something I've been working on for a while. The working models, production models are complete, are 100% complete. I've got the frames in hand, got the pumps in hand, I've got everything in hand I need to sell them, except that stinking shipping box. So I need to wait and get the shipping box, and then make a video on it, show you how to use it, all that kind of thing, and then they'll be for sale. But you need to be on that email notification on the product page, so that when I actually put them in stock, you will actually be the first one to know. All right, so let me see. I don't think my camera's pointed. Uh-oh, there went the battery. Right there, I got this little bit left and the battery just checked out. So I don't know, maybe might offer the battery option. Not sure about that. Really not sure. I'm still not satisfied with that agitation with the battery. Well, that's it. Just got done spraying the yard. I'm gonna go in and eat a little supper. Call it a day. Appreciate you watching. Check you later.